Redbeard Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Cooley from the Redbeard Podcast, and I'm chilling with my boy, Tony.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And today we got some guests on the show. Why don't we start with Hector Rodriguez. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hello, I'm Hector Rodriguez, creator and artist of Hell's Blood from Guildworks Publications.
And we have John Escobales. Go ahead and tell us what you do.
Writer of stuff.
Writer of stuff.
Writer of stuff. And stuff. Sure, why not?
You're the editor over there at Guildworks.
Who's that, me?
Yeah.
I've edited, yeah. You edit too, though.
You edit more.
I just change stuff more than you. I change stuff more than you, that's all. You just say, that's good.
And we have the
So
man
there's
that only
somebody
goes
else
by
in the
one
room, too.
name, and one name only. That's Keith.
Keith Murphy, yes.
Oh, it's two names. Sorry, Keith Murphy.
I'm like Prince, no. Artist and publisher at Guildworks Publications.
The artist formerly known as Keith.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's right, because he's actually KJ.
He's coming out of hiding.
That's right.
He's
Hell
coming
yeah.
out of hiding. He's
That's
going back
his
to
name.
Keith.
It's not legal, but
K Murph.
K-Dog.
So, so what's up, guys?
How are you guys?
We're doing good. You know, holding it down, working, doing the podcast thing. You know, same old.
Just the
same
normal
old,
stuff,
same
man.
old,
You
same
know,
old.
living life.
Thanks for having
Blue Collar Comic Company meets a Blue Collar Podcast.
Yes,
That's right, man. That's right,
Sounds
dude.
right.
Marriage made in heaven.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit about how GWP got started.
Go, Keith.
You want me to start?
You got 10 seconds, ready?
How much
You don't
time do
even
we
have
have?
choice, that's up to you.
But that's a lot of...
Literally 10 seconds, and I'm counting down.
Before we
Right
get
now.
to the Justice League segment.
I don't do well under pressure.
5 seconds now.
Okay, this time's up.
Next. No.
You're out. Okay. No,
Thanks for being on the show, guys.
I guess it really started in 2000. I started a network of artists and writers. We got together every month in different states, and it kind of picked up momentum. And I met Hector in 2003. Started the Massachusetts chapter with me.
Yep.
It's called Comic Book Artists Guild. It's not really an active group anymore. They don't get together anymore. But I think we kind of dissolved it probably last year, actually. But what ended up happening was in 2006, we started to kind of see that a lot of people wanted to come in and do publishing, and the Comic Book Artists Guild wasn't about publishing. So we ended up switching gears, and I said, well, why don't we start a company that does publish people that are up and coming, you know, because I love working with everybody, and I love working with Hector, and that's kind of how we started.
What was the original name? Guildworks?
It was
what?
Guildworks Productions.
And
You know, it was me and another partner, Mark Maz, and didn't work out. So I think in 2009, and Hell's Blood was our first title that we had made, and I think we were one book in, and then I think I got to a point where I was kind of like not sure if I wanted to even do it anymore. And I think Hector talked me off the ledge. He's like, "Don't jump, man," you know. And then so you know, Hector and I became partners, and we kept Guildworks going. And then it kind of really launched into me working on my own property, which is Torn, which is Wendigo Curse, and him continuing his book. And then I don't know how many years later did we... John was always in the picture too. Like I would see John at shows and at the comic book stores, and then he came to a few meetings, and then you know, he really wanted to get something going too. And then, you know, like I think 2 years ago now, or is it?
Yeah, I finally scared everybody else away.
Yeah.
Got something done.
And then John kind of came on board, and I said, I think we're good right now. I think the three of us, why don't we just call this Guildworks and start really hitting shows hard, and so that's kind of where we're at right now. We've got a few books from John, which he can talk about. Hector's always got something going on, and I got my book going on. So yeah, we're just trying to promote ourselves and get the word out.
Yeah, I was actually checking your Facebook page earlier today. You guys are like got shows coming up. You're hitting like every show. So I mean, you guys are out there, man. That's awesome.
The fun shows where you drink, you know, like
Right? Yeah, right.
We got a
you bump
priority.
into famous people, and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me," and you kind of.
you're going way back to San
No, it wasn't. Oh yeah. No, but that
Boston.
hasn't happened.
We did that in
hasn't
Boston,
happened for a
too.
while.
Hey, it's all right, man. We've interviewed a couple celebrities that were drunk, so
Yeah.
it's like, what is this?
Jason Momoa.
Or high, right?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no.
So I guess that is the short answer of what happened.
I am not
I
telling
glossed
that story.
over a lot of like breakup, heartbreak, and
Yeah.
a lot of good times too. Actually, it was a lot of good times just getting together with people, and I really got blessed. I was surrounded by a lot of creative people, and I really enjoyed it. And I still got these guys. I got these guys out of these guys are like my best friends in comics. So I got something out of it.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, a lot of that happens with a lot of things. Like you have you start with like a large like group of people and like all these different people in and out of the business and so on and so forth until you kind of like chip away at all the nonsense and get to the core group of people that are actually going to be there for you and be there throughout the rest of
the people that do things like John and Hector. You know, like I couldn't just do things on my own anymore. There was a lot of good people, but they would all talk about things and then nothing would happen. And
well, I think that's where CAG kind of split up all the pieces. So like there was a lot of people in CAG, and right now if you went on the Facebook CAG page, there's over 4,000 members on it.
Yeah,
wow,
it's
awesome.
a sign that he started.
Yeah, definitely.
But
no, when
on
you say
top of that, like
CAG, you're referencing the Comic Artists Guild, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so we knew a lot of people in the group, but there was very few that did stuff, and there's very few still out there that do stuff. Like, you know, you could start naming names off, but there's only a handful of the original CAG people that are doing stuff, and we see them ourselves all the time. And then you had the BSers that just wanted to come in and write your coattails.
There was a lot of cooks in the kitchen and made it kind of hard.
Yeah. And so when we started to move away from CAG more and focusing on GWP, that's when stuff started to happen in CAG where it was kind of going under, because most of the people that were left were all the BSers.
Weren't doing
people
anything.
That move on and do their own things. You meet in a group, and because the whole point of the group was to network and share. That was the original idea, and learn. You learn things, you network, you meet new people, you move on, you do your own thing, and that's kind of what happened. So we lost a lot of people that way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them came into it thinking that we were going to publish them.
There was that you know, and then they realized, well, I could just do this myself.
Yeah,
so why do I need you? You know,
right?
You know, so there was that.
Definitely.
I mean, it'd probably be nice to have you guys for guidance. You know, like because you've done it before, and you know you're doing it. So like if somebody's like new to publishing themselves or self-publishing, like at least having you guys around for guidance, or like just letting you guys do all the other stuff aside from paying for it. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand there's a lot more to like publishing and marketing and all that stuff than just pumping money into something.
Yeah. A lot of people did their first shows with us. You know, they were first printed with us in these we did anthology style books, and the early I did like 7 or 8 of them. The early ones, well, the early ones didn't really have a theme, and then sort of like a lot of people were saying anthology books that are kind of a dirty household name or whatever. And then the ones that we did later with Maz were really good, but at that point, we were really kind of unfortunately heading for the plane was heading into the mountains, so to speak, and it just got kind of to the point.
I mean, the few that we did when Mass came out. Now, Mr. Mass was accustomed to doing this type of work, and so he knew exactly the buttons to press to get you to do certain things. Like not in a bad way, but he brought up for me, for instance, when we did that whole Death Storm. Oh my God, it was like dragging myself through coals, man, because the story was okay, but putting it into pictures was very difficult for me because it wasn't superhero stuff. It wasn't really horror stuff, it
was psychological horror. It was natural disaster.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, I started throwing in like my characters as action figures in frames, and some of the other guys' covers as posters. I would draw them out. But he would always, check in on me and stuff, and he would give me little pointers, and I would take from that. And so he knew how to get people to, just find their way there and be the best that they were,
Yeah,
definitely. Now, how did you get into to mashups too? Because I know that was a big thing too. It's like
I got tired of seeing really bad ones.
Yeah.
And like I said, I started with that whole Afro Samurai Thor.
Yeah.
And that was just for fun. I was just like, let me see what I can come up with, right? And then after people saw that one, and it didn't sell extreme amounts, but I got a lot of people that were like, whoa.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Well, who would I mash up? And then I started with Batman and Punisher. From there, it just kind of took off because it was funny, you know. When I had my like first 3 or 4 of them, I would have people come up in groups, and then they would argue certain things about them. And so, like the Superman Hulk, that one, there was a couple, and they were arguing hard, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
They're going to break up, yo. They're going to break up.
What were they arguing about? Like, I mean,
just that, you know, like,
as usual.
well, no, not even as to who would win, but how would he be defeated and this and that, and there was too much power there, and I was just like, look, man, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not for real, man.
It's a picture.
It's an idea.
I had fun when I drew.
Don't
You
see
should
your
be having fun looking at it.
But obviously what I did is working because it's messing with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can leave her here.
I think the coolest thing for me, though, with the mashups is when you hear somebody way down and they're like swearing.
Oh, shit.
They're like, holy
Yeah.
I don't know if we could swear on here. So
Go for it. Yeah. No, go for
So
it.
you would hear this, and you would look that way thinking that something else was going on, and they're kind of like making their way through the crowd to our table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you would have what I call, you know, like the standstill where the body keeps going but the head doesn't because they see the image.
That's kind of what happened with me, man. I was like,
So
Joker
like,
Wolverine.
Whoa. And they,
We've
They
seen
kinda
people
come
walk
back.
into other people while they were looking at his stuff at the booth. You know, they're looking
That's
at it and walk into the person in front of them.
Yeah.
Happens
I mean,
all the time.
it's always cool to see that. Like, you know, I don't like, you know, like any other artist, I'm my worst critic. Like, I could sit there and point out stuff that I really don't like. And a lot of times when I draw something, I'll like something stupid. Like, man, I like how that sideburn came out.
Yeah.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And people are
Manly
like,
mustache.
wait, there's a whole thing you banged out, and that's all you see. And I said, yeah, well, you know.
I'm
was
with you
good,
on that.
man.
Like, I'll
That
do
was
it
the
myself,
best
like-
sideburn I've drawn.
Yeah,
You know what I
No,
mean?
it's true though. Like, I mean, like because there are things that sometimes you might, I don't necessarily want to say like you struggle with it, but there are things that you just may not normally feel so great about in drawings. And then like when you nail something, it may be like the smallest thing on that picture that other people won't even notice, but it really makes the picture pop. And you notice it yourself like immediately because like you're fucking proud of it. You're like, wow, shit.
But I find that I
Look
do
at those
that.
boobies. I never didn't know I had it in me. You know?
They actually look real.
I'm not selling this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're not selling this. I'm hanging on to this one. This one's for me.
Put a ring on it.
It's like sentimental.
Oh, God.
So, John, what's up, man? What are you working on?
Hell's Blood 5, 6,
6.
6. Hell's Blood 6. I just sent you the finished script 2 days ago. Yesterday.
Yep.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's a little longer and it's a little darker.
A little darker.
Hell yeah. Dark is good, though.
Yeah. It's going. It's going. I think we're. I think Hector always wanted it to be rooted in Santeria, right? Santeria. And so I kind of jumped into that world and investigated it and found all these weird videos and strange people, and it was fun. It was cool, and it was easy to write.
Nice.
So, we've got the next. I've got the next one already kind of planned out, but I gotta run it by him first.
I mean, I wrote 6 and then I passed it to him, and he kind of broke it down and added great stuff. Like, you know, every time he sent me a new version, I was like, damn. Okay, I like this.
You gotta like bring it down for a
like
second.
the one before this one, right? Like the draft before this one.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, it's good. And I was like, yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, we're working on that, and we've also been kicking around a Deadwood Western series.
Sick.
Yeah, something like that. Like a bunch of I don't want to give it away, but there's an Allman Brothers record called The Seven Turns.
All right.
And Seven Turns, it's like an Indian legend, Native American legend, and everybody's got like 7 turns in their life. Mm-hmm. And the album kind of just stuck with me when it came out, and I don't know, I listened to the album for years, and I kept getting these visions in my head of what it would look like and what different things would be like, And of course, being a fan of old westerns and stuff, I kind of just basically stuck the Allman Brothers in Deadwood and see what happens.
Yeah, man. So what, it seems like, I mean, I guess my question would be...
Don't sue us.
What is your process, I mean, for, the writing and stuff like that? Because it seems like you use a lot of, like, videos and music to kind of get these ideas in your head, but, like, once you actually sit down and start writing it, how does that work?
I get a piece of... What do they call it?
Paper.
Yeah, no, but what's
Yellow
paper?
I need a pen.
Fool's cap.
Yeah.
Fool's cap. I get a fool's cap pad, and I just kind of write every scene, like diner scene, fight scene, vampire bites girl scene, whatever. I just make a list of them, and then I go back and I try to write each one, bring it to life. Okay, what's in the diner? What's the girl look like that he's biting? Whatever. And I just, piece by piece, try to put it together.
Don't let him fool you, though. He also draws. He doesn't want to say he draws, but he comes up with these really amazing little compositions, and you're like, shit, the page is already figured out.
Well, I try, yeah. I'm like, dude, this stick figure here is this guy, and this stick figure is the girl.
But he doesn't just write. He actually figures out the way, the movement on
the way I want it to look. In my head, like it's a movie.
He gives you these amazing references.
I was just gonna say, you direct it.
Here, something like this. You're like, shit, this is the background. I can just throw this in.
Right.
That's the plan. Yeah, I want to make it as easy for the artist as possible because anybody who's ever worked with a comic book artist knows it's like pulling teeth sometimes to get that thing. Either it's all there at once, boom, or it's like, oh yeah, I went skateboarding that day. I was going to draw it, but...
I play video games.
Yeah, oh yeah, video games. That's the big one. I get that all the time. Facebook, video games. So yeah, I mean, if anything I can do to help the artist move along, or not have to, spend, 2 days on my $30 page when they could be drawing somebody else's page for $150 or whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah,
is that all you pay? Is 30?
Just to certain people. I'm not paying you anything. I thought you were paying me. This is gonna come out right here. That's
This is therapy.
Redbeard Podcast, where people come to break up.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you can tell, man. I mean, just from hearing you guys kind of like go off of each other, like I can tell why it works because you guys have good chemistry. You know what I mean? And I think that's the big thing of like in a company getting started is you got to flow together, or it's just not going to work, man. That's the other thing. Trust is a big thing, man. So I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, I trust this guy. I mean, like I feel like we've always had like a good chemistry, so I feel like that works. So when you have it, you see it too, and you guys got it. So
cool,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I think we do have it.
How much you hit the gym, man?
I have a gym in my basement.
Yeah,
this guy is.
I teach
you
martial arts.
Can't see this.
He's a martial arts.
But yeah, like you look like it looks like I could
a
strap a fucking
F-150
actually full of lumber to his back and let him pull it across the fucking highway and shit.
My old man was a bodybuilder and a martial artist, and so I kind of from the time I was 5, I grew up in. I was born and raised at first in Waterbury.
Yeah.
And my father's Puerto Rican. We lived in crappy neighborhoods, and he was adamant that the white kid wasn't going to get his ass beat every day on the way to school. And so from the time I was 5, I was doing martial arts.
That's awesome, man.
Eventually I got into weights, and he didn't give me a choice. And when I had my own kids, I did the same thing. My daughter, 17 years old, it's a little thing, but she probably knocked the fuck out of somebody who tried to grab her. So.
Yeah. What did you train in? Like what style?
I started in Tang Soo Do, which was my father's style. He took it from a guy named Bob Cheesick in Waterbury, who was the first person to bring it to Connecticut, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And from there, I just I got to my teenage years where I wanted to do something different. And I used to watching kung fu movies on Saturday. Watch on Channel 5 and Channel 9, these kung fu movies. I said, I want to do kung fu. Karate is boring as hell.
Yeah.
So I started looking for kung fu schools, and I found a couple. I had to take the bus to get to them. They were in shitty areas, but from there I got into Japanese ninjutsu, and eventually found Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Moved from there to Kempo, Shaolin Kempo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then then Krav Maga, Israeli Krav Maga, and now I'm doing Krav Maga and Kali, which is a Filipino martial art.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it.
When I was a kid, I took karate for a while, and then I took Shaolin Kung Fu for about 10 years. So
wow,
yeah, man.
Where'd
so
you take that?
So it was a place called Way of the Dragon in East Providence.
All right.
So and it was that guy's still going, man. His schools. He's originally from Taiwan. He's been doing it since he was 4.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, like his family's legit. Like they've written a bunch of books, and like I've seen him do stuff like at demonstrations. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my Kung Fu. I still teach Kung Fu from time to time, but Krav Maga really took me over. There was something about Krav Maga that I thought was intelligent, you know. And then I got into the Krav Maga world, and I found that there was different factions of that. Like every martial art, unfortunately, they break up into these factions, and people start bagging each other over it. But eventually, when I had kids, I decided I wanted something that would definitely work. Yeah, you know. And Krav Maga was really smart, and I found the smartest Krav Maga guy I could find, and hunted him down, and eventually was able to get certified underneath him. And, he's you know, there's guys out there who are Israeli Krav Maga instructors who are in the military and got their 21 days worth of Krav Maga training. That's all you get in the military in Israel. And so they come to America and they're like, I know Krav Maga.
Yeah,
I can teach
21 days.
Oh, yeah,
I got like 21 days. In. Some of these guys are, you know, and some of these guys ended up being like tank drivers, and some of them were potato peelers or whatever. I don't know. But this guy I found was an actual Israeli Special Forces commando who got done with that and then taught at the Wingate Academy in Israel. And so, and his style, he evolved it from where he got it. And it was super smart and super cool. And so, yeah, I'm kind of addicted to that style. And
it's awesome. Yeah, because they all have different disciplines, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
without doubt.
It's awesome, man.
Oh, Shaolin Kung Fu is, though, I mean, there's something beautiful about it. And I could watch it all day long. Yeah. I could practice it all day long. There's things, you know, Kung Fu to me was about balance and about strength and about knowing your body. You know what I mean? Krav Maga is just about killing a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Just like breaking him in half. Yeah. You know?
Does like all the experience you have in martial arts and all the training and stuff, like does it ruin like comic book fight scenes for you?
No, actually, in the Human Weapon book I just gave you, some of those fight scenes, most of my fight scenes, I'll send photographs of me doing them to some of my students.
I mean, like if you're reading like X-Men,
reading Batman or something.
You ever like read X-Men and be like, nah, fuck this.
All the time.
This can't happen.
Yeah, there used to be a book Marvel used to put out called Master of Kung Fu, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll end up with hitting the Iron Fist thing shortly. But
Master
of Kung Fu was a great comic. I mean, Doug Munch wrote it all straight through. Obviously, Paul Gulacy made his legacy on it.
Right.
And Paul's fight scenes were amazing. You know, I mean, he knew guys who did Kung Fu, and he would watch movies, and he would literally bring the movie home and, you know, put it up on the wall, and then draw what he saw, and then move to the next frame, and next frame that looked good on a page anyway, and he would put that in there. That's how he did most of those Kung Fu books, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while, you catch somebody else who, Val Mayerick used to have cool fight scenes. For the most part, yeah. You know, a lot of them are just Highlander fight scenes, you know.
Yeah.
These guys running out of nowhere. They're fighting, and then suddenly they're 20 miles away from each other, and they're running at it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it does. In movies, too, you know. I watch a movie like The Matrix, the first Matrix, and I'm always like, he doesn't even have his knee up.
Right? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You know? I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
So, yeah, there's a difference between actual fighting, even in the movies, you know, get real good fight choreography, and then, what do you call the...
Bullshit?
Yeah, bullshit. But I'm looking for all the kids that come to take classes from me. They're always like, I want to be like Jackie Chan. I'm always like, have you ever heard of Bruce Lee? They're like, Bruce Lee? When they get older, they're definitely going to hear who Bruce Lee is, you know? But these kids are like, they're all Jackie
Chan was his stunt double.
Yeah, he was, man.
I think Jackie Chan is like ballet. It's beautiful to watch. But Jackie Chan will be the first one to tell you, he's never going to do that in a real fight. He's never even been in a real fight. You know?
Well, it's so funny you said that thing about The Matrix, because I remember, like, I watched that too, and, like, there's this one scene where Keanu Reeves, like, kicks like that, and his kung fu, and I'm like, put your goddamn toe down. You think, that's not how it works.
Well, I guess when he went in to do that movie, he had something wrong with his back.
Yeah.
So he was really strung. You know, he was really, I guess, having a hard time with the fight scenes at first. But you see him now in John Wick. Obviously, he's over.
Oh, he's killed it, dude.
Yeah,
killed it.
I can watch him do that all day long.
Oh, so good, man. He kind of scares me, man, because have you guys seen the Keanu Reeves videos where he's actually, like, just in a training with a gun? Shooting. Like, so he could legit, like, John Wick your ass in real life, too.
It looks that way, right?
You know,
he's all in, man.
About those movies, too, that it's almost like he's punching you with his weapons, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
And firing at the same time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or he'll like hit somebody and pop, 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 like right underneath him. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
He was a beast in that.
Yeah,
He definitely
that was
took some liberties with a pencil a couple times that I appreciated seeing. So,
Dude, I've thought about that 1,000 times, man. There are people that, I spend my day with sometimes, and I'll just be like, looking at my pencil, looking at them. For years, I've thought that way.
I've been holding that urge back to kill somebody, punch him in the face.
It's very difficult. I can do this. Why are you telling me to take the trash out or something? Anyway.
So, talk about Hell's Blood a little bit. Like, let us know, like, what the premise is. What it's about. Like, where you're going with it.
Well, the new story arc is dealing more with the Orishas, which are the demigods of Santeria.
I think Greek mythology, the gods.
Yeah,
is kind of...
It's kind of the same concept. No, actually, it is the same concept. But they have some ridiculous amount of deities that we don't want to tap into. I mean, we only took the more famous ones, right?
Yeah, we took the top couple
Shango,
for now.
Shango.
Shango is probably like the most. He's basically the thunder god of Santeria.
Where do you see who we have playing
All right.
In our minds, anyway. But
we should go back.
Chris Hemsworth?
No, it's definitely not Chris Hemsworth. I'll tell you that right now.
But I wanted to do something really dark, and like I gave you guys book 5, but one of the things that I threw in there from my side that has nothing to do with Santeria is Rage, and like her original name was Zippers, but then we found out that Gene Simmons, right?
Somebody else had a character named Zippers,
Kiss, right?
similar kind of.
Gene Simmons.
I think that's who had the character.
And so he had a character named Zippers in a comic book, so I was like, damn. So eventually, I went with Rage, but she's basically in a bodysuit, and she's nothing more than a weapon and a portal to hell. So like, there's 9 realms in hell, they say, right? And so she has 9 zippers, and when you open a zipper, that goes to one of the realms.
Oh, that's cool.
And so like, if you open a zipper, you don't know what the fuck's going
Right.
on. But so I wanted to make it really dark and stuff. Like,
So is it basically is it a portal into hell or out of hell? Like, is she like
either
usually
or,
releasing?
both,
see,
yeah.
because I've always loved like the concept of the 4 horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to incorporate that into my story somehow. So basically, for them to get to Earth or to Earth's realm, they need that portal, and she's the portal.
Okay.
And so I got plans for her big time way down the line, but we just wanted to make it, or I wanted to make it really dark, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, let's make it,
Let's make it dark.
So together we've been making it. Actually, when I worked hard on book 5 just to write it, because the original writer, he's more of a superhero style writing guy, and so like my last 3 issues, I would say the last 2 before 5, they were my characters, but they're not, my story. It wasn't where I wanted it to go, and I just kind of went with the flow, which was a big mistake for me.
It was a long process, though. I mean, you wrote it like way before we ever met, like in the late 90s, was it?
Yeah.
And then like I didn't see any of the script until like 05. He said, "Oh, I have this thing. It's called Hell's Blood," and he showed me this really killer logo, and I was like, "Well, wow, why can't we just use this?" And then he kind of laid on me all these characters and what they looked like, and basically he had written several pages of the original story, and then that's sort of what started the whole thing. I was like, well, dude, let's...
Which I'll be honest, they sucked.
Well, no, but I mean, I said we need to develop these characters, so I went home, I think, and I wrote out a little bit more of what I thought these characters, and I think that's what helped move it along. And then we had a guy that actually, was a writer, Scott Schaefer, who did a brilliant job of like basically setting it up for us to spike it, and Hector and I drew the first. I laid out everything with him, and then he finished everything, and because he's like very detail oriented, and then it kind of just went from there. We tried different writers. We tried a different writer for book 2 and it became Chris for 2, 3, and 4.
Chris is a great writer, but like I said, he's more like superhero oriented type.
So he kept it kind of on a lighter note, and then I think that's when you kind of, he had an idea for 5, and you just weren't feeling it, and that's when Hector kind of like came into the limelight and said, "I'm going to write book 5," and I said, "Okay, dude."
I said I'm gonna write it, but at the same time, like after I went through so many drafts, and me when I write, I'm visual. I don't say, like he was saying, he puts everything. To me, I'm just picturing it in my head. And then for the dialogue, I would just be like, well, if somebody said that to me, what is my response to that? And so I bounce off myself, constantly with all the dialogue. And so I went real visual with it, and I wrote it. And then once I had one that I thought, oh, this is solid, I put it across him, and he liked it. Then I showed it to a couple other people, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody said...
You joined like a writer's group, dude.
Yeah, that was
people
after.
that went to school for it.
Yeah, that was after.
They were like, this is really good. And it was like, all right, I guess.
But I remember showing it to, I forgot who it was, man. But he basically turned around and he said, "Holy fuck, you're sick." And then he was like...
Thank you.
And then he says, and then he says, "I fucking like it." Keep doing that. And so from there, I joined this group in Connecticut that they were novel writers, like sci-fi and all that stuff. And the way they ran their stuff, like every week they would meet, and then they would have 2 people submit stories. They would all print it out at their own leisure, read it, and put notes on those printouts. Mm-hmm. And so when it, like maybe 3-4 months later, they picked Hell's Blood to be one of them. And
That's awesome, man.
So we went in there, on that day, and usually there was like, I think the biggest group that I was in was like maybe 8 people that day, but on the day for Hell's Blood there was 14 people in there, and I was like, wow.
I thought you were getting thrown at the den of wolves
yeah.
to attack you.
And so I was always saying, like, when I review stuff, because we all had to do it, participate, I would tell the writer, I was like, look, I'm not a writer, so I'm just going to give you the reader's point of view. And I'll tell you what I thought was cool and what wasn't. I can't tell you punctuation and all that bullshit, because that's not me. I'm street smart, but I'm not, educated smart type.
I'm an idea man.
So I was always
very PC.
So I was always saying I wasn't a writer. So when they went to actually review mine, they always went in order, like from the girl that started the group, and they went around clockwise. And a guy raised his arm, and he was like, wait, I gotta go first. And so she was like, all right, we'll start with you. We'll go back around. Same deal. Mm-hmm. So his first comment was that he wanted to call bullshit. He said, you've been to quite a few meetings here, and you always say you're not a writer. He says, I'm reading this, and I got great pacing. The characters are deep. The dialogue is great. He says, I'm just fucking mad at you because it fucking continues, and I don't like that shit. So he was like, I need to know what happens after that. So I was like, well, that's the world of comic books.
You're going to have to buy the next issue
all the time,
Send me $5 a month. I'll send you the stuff.
That's how you get your fans now.
Yeah. So out of like the 14,
I don't like you because I have to buy this.
You're making me think, and I don't like this thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, out of the 14, I think I got like 12 good reviews. There was one lady that right off the bat, she was like, I was sad I read it. And she started attacking the actual, what it was about. Mm-hmm. And then another girl jumped in, and she was like, it's a comic book, that's what sells. But from not liking what the subject was about, she turned around and says, but I gotta agree with him, the pacing's great, the characters is deep, you've obviously established a lot of the stuff and where you want to go with it.
Mm-hmm. It just wasn't her cup of tea.
Yeah, that's basically what she was saying. And so from there, I was like, all right, it's a go. So then I went into breaking it down and actually drawing it up. But then number 6, I did the same thing, but then I threw it at him. And he was like, "You don't need that. You don't need that." Throw that shit away.
Man, you need those people, man.
Yeah, well, it's in there, you know.
Stephen King always says those groups.
So
are
I
bad.
went from it went from like a factory Honda to a street Honda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all prepped up. So I was
I
cool.
love Stephen King.
Me too.
Like
Yeah.
you've read On Writing.
Oh, I have it on my iPod. I listen to it constantly.
One of the best books I've read.
It's like
And
taking a class with him.
It's one of the best books I've read, and it's not even like it's not like his fiction.
No, by no means.
At all.
Yeah.
But it's
It's like
just,
he's in the room talking with you or something.
But it feels like you're reading a novel.
One of his books. Yeah. He's
It's
amazing.
fantastic.
You know, it's funny. My wife loves Mr. King also, and she told me about that book too. You should read it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
You
yeah,
definitely get
yeah.
something out of it.
Do it.
Even and like I said, the audiobook is even better because he reads it. So I mean, he's sitting there in the room with you, like he's talking to you. It's like taking a class with him.
It's funny though. It's like you guys love Stephen King. Like I like him. I read some of his stuff, but there's some books I just can't do, man.
There have been a few that I couldn't get through.
Like,
But
there
not
was-
because they were horrible, but just because
Yeah, I
couldn't
But
get
he takes like 5
Man,
pages
it's like-
to describe like a lamp.
Well, that's
Or
what I'm
donut.
saying.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
I remember I was reading It, right? Stephen King's It, and I got I think maybe like 40 pages in, and there was one scene where he described like the boat that's going down the street, what it was made out of, where they got the supplies, how long. I'm like, I don't need to know this, bro.
That's like the first.
And it was driving me
Like the first
crazy.
3 pages.
yeah.
Well, and it is.
The
it
first
is,
14
though.
pages.
It is, yeah. But you know what I mean? It was just like one of those things where too much setup is one of those things where I start to drift off. I can't,
you can
you know
fall
what I mean?
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Jim, he's read like every Stephen. He has like all the hardcovers on his. I mean, that's his. It's a style of writing, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You know.
What is that Kennedy book?
It's like the Alan Moore of novels.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's a good one.
What was that
actually.
book? That Kennedy one he did.
12.
The date.
11/23.
Oh, it's the one
no,
that
11
James Franco, the one of
something
the
63.
The TV show, that was
Yeah, the
terrible.
TV yeah,
that
which
TV
it
show
was, yeah.
fucking awful.
Yeah.
But that book, I swear to God, from start to finish, it's like you're there, man. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
You feel like you went back in time with this guy.
Yeah.
To me, that book totally knocked me out. And then there's he did another. Oh God, I can't remember the other one I read right after that.
I wish Kelly was here.
I know. Yeah.
She
come
really
on.
good at
Texas.
this.
Well, she's got a whole bookshelf of all his
The
stuff.
guy
Doc
who gets
Towers
tripled.
is
miss
amazing.
anything.
Yeah, I've only read the first 3 of those. I never gotten back to them.
And
After a
Idris
while, I
Elba's
had
going to be the
take a break.
gunslinger, which is fucking
That's
great.
Anything with him in it is great.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I would
Agreed.
even. I'm a Bond fanatic. Yeah, to see him play Bond, why the hell not?
Yeah.
You know? Why the fuck not? I mean, that guy. Honestly, personally, myself though, if I had to pick somebody, I'd like to see Tom Hardy with Jonathan Nolan directing. To me, that would be great. I would love to see that.
They're talking about Idris Elba is going to be the next one.
Yeah, I would take that.
Yeah, I take it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I'd love to see that.
He's already British, so it works. You know what I'm
And
saying?
he just won his first MMA fight too.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
ballsy.
Insane.
That dude is all in.
Yeah.
Did we mention that they're talking about Idris Elba?
For Bond? I know they were talking about it, but I thought he had shot it down though. On Twitter, he had said something like he wasn't good looking enough to be Bond or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking butt.
Yeah, it would suck to look like him. I wouldn't want to look like that.
I get slapped by every woman that listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have a rough night ahead of you.
So talking about, I mean, you guys talking about writing and you know, it's got to have a good flow and all this other stuff makes me think of a topic that we've kind of been talking about on our last podcast, and him and I have been talking a lot about it. Have you guys been watching Iron Fist on Netflix?
Yes.
Yep.
So
I
from
finished it.
all right, because I haven't finished it yet. I'm on episode 7.
Finish it.
I haven't
All
done
right.
the last 2 episodes. I haven't seen the whole thing.
All right. So from a writer's standpoint, is it annoying the hell out of you guys?
I think
I want to
that-
go first. Oh, you go. You talked about it.
You go.
You go. You started.
he's got a lot more to say about
Let's
it.
go,
You get
Keith.
my phone out.
Yeah, it's a very slow build up. You know,
Yeah.
and you're kind of left with a lot of questions, and there's things that should be kind of explained a little bit more. So it's kind of hard to really get into it. And then all the controversy with why it should not be a white male lead and all that stuff doesn't make any sense.
Even though that's the comic book,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's
it
just
makes
ridiculous.
no sense.
You know,
Yeah.
let's just
The whole
enjoy
point
it
of
for
the
what
character
it is.
is
Yeah.
that
You
he's
know?
a white guy that got trained in martial arts. Like is it like back in the day it was like fantasy,
Yeah.
but now it's like everybody learns martial arts now.
Yeah.
So like it shouldn't be that far removed from.
I learned martial arts, and I'm whiter than everybody.
Well, you are like the whitest guy in this room, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, seriously, I'm not looking forward to the summer. All right. So I stay inside, man. But anyway,
it's a hard character to like for some reason, and maybe John said this, and he can get into it. It felt like the whole thing was rushed, and I think that's maybe part of why it is, because he just gets upset too easily over everything. And it's like, aren't you like supposed to be like some Zen kind of very calm and all? But no, he just seems like he gets upset over everything.
Even in the comics, he had a hard time dealing with shit. I mean, but as a kid, I mean, like I said, I've been reading Iron Fist since Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. I'm invested in this character. couldn't wait for this show. I gave it every chance.
Yeah.
But and I enjoyed parts of it immensely. But nonetheless, yeah, they it felt like they were rushing into things, then stopping this. Oh, we're done with this. Let's move on to this. They weren't. There was no real flow to it. I could have watched him fight to get his company back for 12 episodes. That could have been something worthwhile. I don't know. It just seemed like they kept. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but the martial arts was rough.
It was.
Yeah.
So far, it's been pretty slow. More than anything.
Daredevil buried it martial arts wise.
The only thing there is one positive that I do like about it is that sometimes when I watch martial arts fights on TV or film, they're so fast that you can't see anything.
Sure, yeah.
Where it's not realistic, but you can see what's going on, which I think is kind of bad too. You know what I mean? Like your martial arts should be so fast that you can't see it.
Well, yeah.
But I like seeing all the movements, but that's not...
Especially if they showed somebody how to do it just before they walked on the set. I don't know if that's what happened.
But that's what it seemed like.
In the 70s, right? But nowadays, I'm sure they gave these people training and they choreographed the fights. But, I think a character that's based on a martial arts character, I think they should be almost like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
But they broke it down and they showed him, I'm zeroing in on this, I'm zeroing in on that. Yeah. That's what kind of I would have wanted to see from an Iron Fist character.
Yeah.
And unfortunately get that.
The pacing and stuff like that, and like how it happened, like how his fight scenes go down and all that. Like I got the sense, and it's like you said, they rushed it. I got the sense that, and I know they rushed it. Let's forget. I got the sense, but. I know they rushed it because they just cast him like in summer last year.
Yeah.
Right? And then got the ball rolling, finally got it produced, and here we are, like March, and they're releasing the show. So it hasn't even been a year since they cast the character, and the show's like 13 episodes deep and produced. And
I think they're rushing to get to Defenders, though.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
That's what's scaring me.
Yeah.
I think they were just trying to get it in there.
Yeah, well, because the Entertainment Weekly cover, what was it, like a couple months ago, was Defenders. It's
about a month ago.
And Iron Fist hadn't even come out yet.
Yeah,
but look at Luke Cage. Look at
Jessica Jones.
Well, I'm looking more at like physicality, because if you look at Luke Cage and Daredevil, like these guys are like jacked. Like they prepared for this role.
Yeah.
Right? And the choreography and the fight scenes look natural. They look like, everything's happening at a really fast pace. You can watch Iron Fist and Finn Jones. He's not in shape. Like, I mean, he's in shape. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's in far better shape than I am.
But he's not in, like, monastery training shape.
Yeah. He's not an Iron Fist Marvel superhero.
That's the first time he had his shirt off and he's doing his thing. I was like, what? Like, come on. I expected a little bit more, but...
And he is concentrating...
Yeah.
He's concentrating far too hard on like remembering moves and trying to pull things off, and everybody's attacking him very slowly. Like, and I think what it boils down to is like they cast this dude last summer, and it was like, all right, hurry up and learn martial arts.
Yeah.
Wait,
and he's like, all right.
Is that the same actor from Marco Polo?
No, I was psyched. I was psyched that when you told me it was. No, from Marco.
Because I was like, if it was Marco Polo,
he thought it was the guy from Marco Polo, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm looking forward to it more now.
Was he in Game of Thrones?
But no,
he was one of the characters in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was the Rose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, that's where I know him from. All right,
but you know what I don't like about the show is that he goes around boasting that he's the Iron Fist and he can't lose, but he got his ass whooped quite a few times and got knocked the fuck out too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, seriously.
Wait, what? Gets held down by orderlies in a hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. He couldn't get out of his bed, but he can punch through steel. I'm like, what?
But what's this bullshit about it drains my chi? Like, he's summoning the Iron Fist like all the fucking time in the comics.
Yeah.
And like in this one, you get like once every 3 fucking episodes, and like his girlfriend is like, "Yo, can you show me the Iron Fist?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't think so."
It's a recorded dysfunction.
Yeah,
It's a
seriously.
recorded
I don't think
Not
so.
today,
Yeah.
baby. You know, we just,
Seriously.
you know what we just went through
Tonight.
together.
I
Right?
just used it. Sorry.
I just
I can show you
Go
some,
make me after breakfast.
Give me
I'll
a
summon
chance
the
to
Iron Fist
recover.
for you.
I can show you some other shit that might be a little more satisfying.
This guy in a monastery, all those years.
Shit.
You would think he would never run out if he was up in a mountaintop without
Yeah,
winning.
right. Like
But
being
didn't he
in prison,
say
like
he was
Nathan
celibacy or whatever?
Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah.
He did
So he
he took a
doesn't
vow
know.
of
He
celibacy.
needs time to
Yeah.
recover, man. Yeah. So,
I don't know what's happening to me.
Like in episode 6, the one that the RZA directed, like I mean that whole like fight scene where he's like doing the challenges, like
Yeah, okay, yep.
like
Yeah.
those characters were fucking cool.
There were,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they were on screen for way too little time.
3
Yeah,
seconds,
yeah.
something, yeah.
Like those fights should have been longer, a little bit more interesting. But again, I think it all comes down to we have like a Dancing with the Stars moment.
Mm.
You know what I mean? These motherfuckers trained for like 2 weeks and then started filming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
I'd be curious to know who did the choreography on Iron Fist. If it's the same guys as Daredevil, because I don't think it is.
no,
No,
I'm
no
not
way.
seeing any
No,
of that.
Daredevil
No, we
fight
would've seen
scenes are
that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. Especially that one, the hallway, where it's just him.
classic.
That
Yeah.
was nasty.
And already people
That
are
was
trashing
nasty.
that. Everybody's like, "All right, yeah, we're sick of the hallway thing."
The one
Apparently,
shot,
I'll watch
the
that
one
over and
shot
over
down
again.
the stairwell where he has to fight the entire gang.
That was
Yeah,
another
It's
good
like
one.
one seamless shot all the way down.
Yep.
On the
That's
flip side,
nasty.
all the Jessica Henwick scenes, like fighting
She's
in the
amazing.
cage fights and everything like that, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
She's
she
very
is.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how is
Yeah,
it possible that is so?
Because
Good.
because she knows she
Oh,
probably
she's a
knew
martial
martial
arts
arts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
okay.
probably knew martial arts. She was she's one of the Sand Sisters on Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she at least had
Those
something.
are all
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
stuff, I think.
Definitely.
But I mean, she has to have known something prior, and I don't want to say that just because like she's Asian or whatever. Because
Sure,
like
sure.
I know we're already like in this territory where like there's like the whole like race issue with Iron Fist, but I'm not even getting into that. I'm just,
Right.
She looks like somebody who's trained in martial arts when she's fighting, and she feels
She
more
looks
at
fit,
home.
too.
She's natural.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah, a lot of really cool fight scenes in the cages. Like,
I'm
great
curious
stuff.
to know if we'll see a Daughters of the Dragon. You know,
Yeah.
Defenders
that'd be
roll in.
cool.
So
I'd love to
great.
see that.
Her and Misty Knight.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Misty Knight was awesome. I thought in Luke
Oh,
Cage.
Luke? Yeah.
I enjoyed that show immensely. You know,
Luke Cage was awesome.
I did. I enjoyed that. I love Jessica Jones. I thought that was great too. I just, Iron Fist kind of. And I like a lot of the stuff in the story. I really do. I like a lot of it. It just seemed like they kind of said, "Put this here, put this here, put this here." What time is it? Okay, we'll put this here, we'll put this here, put this here.
Seriously.
Bummed me out. But at the same time, like I said, I'm glad they did it, and I'm hoping that down the road we'll see some better stuff.
Yeah, and like they really, I feel like they hamstrung the actors. Like they probably like they're all fantastic actors. I've seen them in a lot of different things, and they're great. But in this one, it's just like, hey, can you say that with a little less feeling?
Yeah.
Like just
Well,
hey, tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
You got
we were
too much
talking
out
about
of that.
this yesterday. Like, I texted him and I was like, man, because I was on episode 6 and I was like, I think Ward is a horrible actor. And he's like, well,
Really?
I've seen him in Banshee and he's awesome. I'm like, well, man, I was like, he's got some shitty dialogue then.
That's where he's from, Banshee.
yeah.
He was
And-
great in Banshee.
And
Yeah,
it's
right.
like, but then I saw him going through like withdrawals, and I'm like, all right, he's doing all right there. But it's like there's some lines that just are. I think it's just the lines. Some of the dialogue is so cheesy that it's hard for an actor to pull off shitty dialogue sometimes.
Well, he became a drug addict like immediately. Like,
yeah,
like 2 seconds.
That's the other thing too. I was
Okay, now
you
you're a
didn't
drug
have-
addict.
You
Pardon
didn't
me?
have those pills for 6
And, like,
hours, and he's
becoming
like,
a-
his eyes are red. He's I'm like, what?
that whole episode, I was just like,
Like, what are you talking about, man?
Good drugs.
is this
He's
happening?
like so bad that he like broke his hand, which looks so
Just so he
fake.
could get drugs.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
like,
gonna break my hand.
They're like shooting the scene. They're like, cut. Hey, get some more bacon grease out here, please.
Yeah.
Come on. He's way too dry right now.
He's got to be a drug addict in 15 minutes. Let's go.
well, I definitely want to jump
Yeah, just
into
slather it on his face. Just do it.
Yeah.
Hair and all.
He's not even in the next 3 episodes. Come on, let's move on. Let's go.
I definitely want to jump into the Justice League trailer because we all watched that before we started this podcast, man.
Before we do, because I do want to get to that.
Yeah,
like another thing we want to get to, but I want to give Keith a chance to talk about Torn.
Oh yeah.
Which is his book.
All right,
because we went on a tangent after talking about Hell's Blood, and I really wanted to get to that too.
Sure, it's kind of like based on Native American folklore. There's a Wendigo, which basically was like if you do something really bad, eat the flesh of another human being, you become this monster that's doomed to kind of curse the earth, kind of always hungry. And
now, is this based on the Marvel character?
No.
Absolutely not.
I couldn't call it Wendigo.
Yes, it is.
What's Marvel?
The one that they totally fucking butchered?
Yeah. Well, their character is very buff and white looking, and my character is very gaunt and, he looks kind of jacked on the cover, but he's kind of more hind legs, more animalistic looking, big teeth, claws, the works. But essentially, this guy does something really bad in the past to some Indians. I forget the tribe that we.
One of my favorite shots.
I forget the tribe that
Nasty.
we were. But it takes place a couple hundred years in the past, and then what happens is he basically becomes this creature, and then he goes to sleep for a couple hundred years, wakes up in present day, and meets this girl that he has to help, basically. And it's not so much about the curse ending because it doesn't end, but he basically, it's a redemption type of story. So he basically decides he doesn't, want to be like he was, and he helps this girl, and then, there's like Russian mafia involved, in present day, and there's flashbacks that lead up to explaining why he became this the monster. And so I had a lot of fun with it, and I did it in kind of, I do it in kind of a pictorial kind of looser style. And I was going to just do it all tonal, but I think maybe it was Hector or John. Somebody had said, just, why don't you throw color on it and see how it looked. I think it was John, actually. And I was like, wow, yeah, I really needed the color, And so that was, did we color mine first and then yours?
No, yours was first.
Yeah. So, we had only printed in black and white because you were so afraid of printing in color. Like, it would be so much more money. It would break us or something.
Yeah.
But when I saw that was the first book we printed in color, and I loved it, and I was like, you know what, and Hector was like, dude, we got to do this to Hell's Blood. We got to make Hell's Blood 5 was your book. Okay. Oh, that's right. John's Human Weapon. We'll get back to John's.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get
that's
that.
Right,
but anyway, so I'm not telling it correctly. But basically, we hadn't printed a lot of books in color, and so that was the first, one of the first books we printed in color, and. Really happy with it. This guy named Leonardo, I forget his last name.
Pasciarati?
Yeah.
Pasciarati? I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry, Leo.
I forget where he's from. It was
Spain.
Spain, thank
you.
That's nasty.
Yeah. And it's funny because I knew I had something good because I would take some of those pages of shows and people would just, before I even made the book, they'd pick it up and go, wow,
How much?
Someone else would look at this and look, oh, it looks like shit or whatever. It's messy, but it's how art is. It's very subjective. And
I can be honest with you, man. I'm looking at this and I want this on my wall. You know what I'm saying? That is such a badass shot right there.
The guy saw that page, black and white, and he bought it off me for a couple $100. He put it in his sleeve. Put it in his sleeve with like a Neil Adams piece and another piece. He said, "These are all going home on my wall." And then he took a picture of it framed on his wall and sent it to me, which was really sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That was my first real book. That was all me, and we're talking about doing a second book, but it's a different person that turns into a Wendigo in a different time. It's actually a Viking tale. John and I have to really finally sit down and hammer it out. We started fleshing it out and writing it, so I'm hoping to do more with it.
So this has a beginning and an end.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a one-shot type of self-contained story just to see, how it would stand, and really like doing it, and it's like this has completion to me. It's not like I have to kind of worry about like what's going to happen in the next issue,
right?
Because any book, because it took a few years to do, unfortunately, because you work during the day and then you work on it in the evening, on the weekends, or whenever you have the time, and you really have to sort of fall in love with what you're doing and stay with it to the end. It really, even on the days you don't want to do it, and there were days, I'd be saying, I don't want to do this today, and then there are days like I got to get this done, And so I'm looking forward to doing more with it.
Nice. And just a side note to that, when he did those pages and he sent them to Leo to color, Leo was coloring a George Perez book, and he hadn't done anything like Keith's art, and he wasn't sure what he would do with it.
Very clean art.
Yeah, and so he was nervous, and he said, "Well, let's just give it a shot and see what happens." And I think it came out stellar.
Well, you got
Perez
brought
has
something to it.
like a really clean line too.
Yeah. Well, he the kind of artist, because he draws himself. He's an amazing artist, Leo, and he said, well, maybe I can do it in this kind of match your style with the coloring with your art, and that's what he did. And I was like, wow, this is great. I kind of was like, I got to use this guy again for something, and we ended up using him for a few things. So
he colored Human Weapon as well.
Yeah, tell us about that one.
As a kid growing up, I liked a lot of obviously Chuck Norris movies, right, and karate movies, and so I those when I go back and watch those movies, I'm always like, oh my god, did I love this movie? Or did I watch this movie 17 times? And so essentially, I wanted to write my own martial arts action adventure team type of thing, and that's what this is. It's kind of a born idea, but it's not cheesy canon stuff, Right. I learned my lesson there, so I hope it's not anyway. So it's about this guy who's an ex-CIA agent who's just trying to find himself. He's trying to figure out what he's here for. He joined the CIA thinking he was gonna help people, and when he got in there, he realized that's not necessarily what they do all the time. And so angry, he takes off and he goes off, fighting for money, basically. He's like UFC type of stuff. He wins a bunch of trophies, becomes famous, but that doesn't really fulfill him either. So he just starts traveling around looking for something to quiet the anger within him. And he finds a village in Tibet that he likes. He feels at home there, but the village starts to become under pressure from the Chinese government. And so what does he do? He does what he always does. He starts beating people up and taking their guns and knocking heads. And the villagers kick him out, and he's got to find something else to go. So he goes home to the United States and finds some old friends, and his friends are in a jam with the CIA. And he gives them the idea that let's fix it ourselves. Let's not let the CIA fix it. We'll do it ourselves. This is the first issue.
I'm looking at this, I look at the cover, and what makes me want to read it is I go to this one page, and I just see this one frame, and the guy just says, "What are the rules?" And I'm like, yes. You know what I mean? It's tournament, it's about to happen. I love that stuff, man. That's awesome.
And that dialogue, man, he waited till the last, before it was supposed to be printed, man.
I rewrote that thing 1,000 times.
Really?
I do that all the time.
Again and again until he finds what he's really after,
I feel like if it's something that you're passionate about too, you're just gonna keep tearing it apart until you're happy with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't ever finish anything. I just let it go.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah,
that is that kind of encapsulates what you're about. Kind of saying, okay, this is where I'm at. You got to move on.
Yeah, but the other, plus to that too is if you work on it too much, you could actually destroy it.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you keep reanalyzing everything when it's probably good at where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Star Wars.
Yeah, right, man.
It's like, dude, stop.
Perfect parallel.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
So the artist on that is a guy named Antonio Baifuco. He does a lot of work for Zenoscope Comics.
Definitely.
He's pretty good.
That was a Paul Gulacy cover.
That is a Paul Gulacy cover from Master of Kung Fu. Legendary artist Paul Gulacy.
Love it. It's got that classic look to it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How'd you score that?
we know people.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He and I have been friends for years.
Nice.
That's cool, man.
I hunted him down when I was a kid, and he was just kind enough to be nice enough to me,
The funny thing is, I'm looking at the cover, right, and I was like, wow, that art looks really familiar, and I was like,
I was thinking the same thing.
I was like, that's fucking awesome, and I'm thinking. Crossed my mind for a second. Wow, Master of Kung Fu, right? And I was like, nah.
Yeah, it's him.
Nah.
Batman,
but
Star Wars.
It's great.
We made a banner with that, actually. It was like a 10-foot tall banner. It was awesome. And you could see it from across a con room, and it was like this, it was beautiful.
It said my name right across the top, and then people come over and say, "Is Paul Gulacy here?"
Kind of geeked out. I really thought Gulacy was with us, which we should have just lied and said yes.
Yeah. He's going to be here at noon.
Dude, check out our stuff.
He's on lunch right now. He'll be back. Yeah. Come see our booth in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he'll be right back. We actually were right next to him in New Jersey last year. And he's going to be in North Carolina while we're down here, too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to jump into that trailer that we kind of almost jumped into a couple minutes ago.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. So we watched the Justice League trailer, the second one they released, and I'm just going to let you guys jump in on this. because I could just hear like moans and grunts and oh my god. So Hector, I can already see it in your eyes, man. Like what's going on?
You know, personally, I think it's all over the place, and that scares me because it's almost like they don't like their story's not gonna have direction.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, they just threw too much out there without connection. And I know trailers are just to get you excited, but I'm not excited.
No.
You know? And I actually with Suicide Squad, I was the same way. And then I watched it and I was like,
yeah,
it was better than I thought it would be. But this one is scaring me because I was really looking forward to this one. And
but I get the feeling that's what Warner Brothers is doing. Like they're putting together like these trailers like hastily.
Yeah.
And banking on people being like, this movie's going to be shit. And then they go and see it, and then they're like, oh, it was better than I thought it was going to be. And then that just becomes amplified, and everybody's just like, yeah, that movie's great. And then like 6 months later, they're like, nah.
That's the new strategy.
Yeah, like when they go to watch it a second time, they're like, yeah, this movie's not that great.
I mean, you and I were pumped about Suicide Squad. We were like, oh, the music's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
Like, it was like great trailers, man. But then we went in, we were like, what?
Yeah.
You know?
I think the music was the best part of that movie.
What's that?
I think the music was the
Suicide
best
Squad,
part of that
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer that we saw was sort of like, I think someone said music video, and I think that was a perfect way to describe it. It was like
video game.
They had picked this music that sort of like was like come together. You know, I think that was Aerosmith or whatever, and kind of making it show that they're all kind of working together now and showing all these like amazing scene locations, and then the characters themselves. You're introducing Aquaman as an alcoholic, kind of. You're seeing him throw back a lot, and then
was he jumping or flying? Because I was like,
I think he was
Yeah, at
leaping.
the end where he jumped off, I was like, but there's no water.
And then you're seeing, I was
like,
not
what?
in the water anywhere. I don't see any shots of him underwater.
That's what didn't make sense. It's like, he can fly, though? Like,
Yeah,
I think he was
like-
leaping. I think
But
he
he's
was
like
leaping.
riding,
Yeah.
or he's hanging on to Batman's car or whatever, and then he kind of, you know, it's sort of like a buddy thing where it's like, all right, I'm launching you or whatever. See ya, you know. It's
Yeah.
sort of felt.
Maybe on the
He
other
was
side.
definitely leaping.
yeah.
And Aquaman can do tons of shit outside the water, so don't worry about water.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
But-
that's true.
But
Just saying, though.
I'm just saying. I'm just letting
Just
you know.
saying, man.
There's no fish in the street.
But
Some people don't know that.
why is he basically Drax the Destroyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He's got.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's all like, he just seems like too like childish. You know what I mean? Like
You just mentioned
Oh,
that,
wow,
and
that. Cool.
now I'm really worried. It's like,
What happened to the
Yeah.
costume that was in the poster they put out?
I don't know.
Where did that green thing come from?
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking, too.
yeah, the costume in the poster looked a lot better.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what's weird, too, about this whole thing is that, you know, with Marvel, they actually, like, you know, you had kind of mentioned in a thing you had put on Facebook, is that they took their time with it. You know, it was like one character at a time. Like, you got a chance to kind of fall in love with each character. And then they brought in the Avengers, and the Marvel Universe has kind of, or cinematic universe has become what it is now because of that build-up. Where it's like, you got this movie coming out, but there's also a Wonder Woman trailer coming out at the same time. So that doesn't really make too much sense to me either. I mean, I will say, the Wonder Woman trailer actually looks pretty good in my opinion.
I can't
Like,
wait.
I
agree.
want to check that out. I mean,
agree.
that looks
I
good,
think-
but this just looked like a mashup of a bunch of shit altogether.
For
I'm
some
not.
reason, I feel like when I look at just like the Wonder Woman trailer, and I look at past movies of DC and stuff, it seems like they really, really, really took their time with the Wonder Woman
Yeah,
thing.
I agree.
And everything else, even the old Batmans, like some of them were really great, but some were.
I have a
Yeah.
I have a slight problem with the Wonder Woman stuff, man, and it's just that they have a really great opportunity to introduce a strong female character and just let her hold the movie on her own.
Right.
And it looks like Chris Pine is going to be like 50% of this movie. Based on the trailer. I don't know if the movie's going to pan out that way, but most of the people that have seen the like the pre-screenings and stuff like that have said that he kind of steals the show. And
Does
it's
he
just like,
though? Chris Pine? How?
But that's
He's
not,
not.
well,
I was just thinking the same thing. Though. I've seen the trailer and I was like, oh, he's in this too. Maybe.
I'm saying,
Like,
look,
you know.
we're all guys, right?
Right.
We're all guys, and she looks hot as fuck, right? Like,
Right.
we all agree on that. But I mean, like for the majority of the audience, there's going to be a lot of women that go to see this movie,
Yeah.
and I'm fairly certain that their test audience
I
has
see where you're
been.
going already.
And Chris Pine is
Yeah.
got got that audience kind of like, captivated more than Gal Gadot, who is going to captivate us, right? And that's just the wrong move to me. And I think they had a really good opportunity to get a strong female character, give her a presence, and kind of do something for the women in the audience.
So what you're saying is Pine is there for the women in the audience. So like to get all the female money, right?
Right. Yeah, characters always
they could have done the same thing with a powerful female.
Exactly. Right? And I think Marvel's gonna. Again, I'm going to be that Marvel fanboy because I think Marvel's going to do that with the Captain Marvel movie.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to. They're going to learn from DC's whatever they do wrong.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Back to the trailer. Sorry.
Yeah, no, get it.
It seemed like we were seeing. It looked like Batman looked great. It looked like Wonder Woman looked great to me. It seemed like it seemed a little hokey with the cyborg.
Yeah.
He seemed a little too shiny and chrome, and Barry Allen, the Flash, seemed a little all jagged and kind of. I don't know. Those characters are maybe.
And the cyborg, it looks like his face is digitally enhanced.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, it was weird.
Where it just wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a little worried about those characters more than Wonder Woman or Batman.
I think
looks
I might
like
have gone for
cheesy
a John
Jax
Stewart
from
Green
Mortal
Lantern
Kombat.
over
That's what it looked like to me.
myself.
Oh, yeah.
So who haven't they shown though? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Superman's not in there.
Yeah,
no.
I'm sure.
He's still dead.
Is he gonna be in the movie?
He's dead up to a certain point.
They'll probably have
sure
at the end
like a cameo. Yeah.
He's going to be back. They're going to.
He's going to save the day at the end.
Yeah,
see, that's what I'm seeing. And it's like,
but that's the other thing too. If he's in this movie, then it's way too fucking soon to bring him back.
Yeah, it would be a mistake if you.
I mean, because he got killed by Doomsday, and like in the comics, like it took a while for him to come back. I mean, like the equivalent in movie time, like they should be stretching this out for like at least a couple of movies.
Yeah.
Having some people trying to fill in, take his place, showing how much of a
we
loss
saw how
he
bad
was.
that
wait
was
that long. There's
comics.
that
was bad.
Yeah, because even with just Justice League, everybody's gonna be like, "Where the fuck is Superman?"
Yeah.
What the hell? What I pay
world
for
without Superman.
The guy with the big Superman logo on his shirt in the audience.
I know he's gonna be bitching and moaning.
Yeah, right, dude.
Got that Ben Affleck up there. Where's my Superman?
And Batman, like even in the first trailer for this shit, like the first trailer, this trailer, like he just cracks too many jokes.
Thank you.
People have been saying that's from the Marvel thing. They're trying to. They got all that criticism after Batman versus Superman that they're not going to stick with their original plan. They're going to throw a bunch of jokes in there. I was like, fuck that, man. I like Batman versus Superman. I like the
characters
tone.
Don't need to be jokey, really.
Yeah.
Batman needs to be the straight man.
Yeah.
He doesn't make jokes.
Even if he does make a joke, it's got to be a joke, like almost like an inside joke to himself. You know,
Well, see, that
his
was like
joke. He
that-
gets it, you know?
That's exactly what I was talking about when I said like there's some at the end of the trailer that bothers me, and he's like, "Oh, it might be temporary." It's like, "Oh man, come on!" It reminds me of the really shitty Batman with
Adam
George
West.
Clooney.
Oh,
Remember that
yeah,
one? Where it was like, I mean, he's got like the nipples on the suit, and then like, this is why Superman works alone. Like, can I just kill myself right now? You know what I mean? So it was
Even the thing about him talking to Aquaman talking to fishes, I was like,
And Robin.
why is that there?
yeah, come on.
That's
yeah, exactly.
That's not doing anything for me. Oh yeah, when Robin rolls up, yeah.
You know, I was I actually walked out of that movie, that Clooney movie.
Batman and Robin.
As soon as they hit that island and Robin said, "Holy rocks!"
Holy rusted. No, he goes, "Holy rusted metal,
here."
Batman."
I was
Yeah,
like,
that's what
I'm
he said.
done.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, I didn't even go see that in the theater.
And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "These rocks, they're holy." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm out. I'm out of here."
This is where we're at.
I was out. I was
This is
like,
disrespecting the fan base.
Yeah.
Like, and then, like the whole "what's your superpower?" He's like, "I'm rich." I'm just like, Batman would say something else.
Yeah, he wouldn't say that.
He would probably just either just look at him.
Yeah.
Like, or he would
To
say,
me, that's what
Ignore
I
him.
saw. Like,
Ignore
or
it.
he would say
nice
some shit
stare,
like breaking metahumans. That's my power.
Oh, something, yeah.
Some shit like that, you know?
Ever heard of Superman? I did that. I got rid of that.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh man.
Or I don't need one, or some shit like
Something,
that.
yeah.
Well, we have a tradition here at Redbeard Podcast where we like to actually play a game of Would You Rather. So have you guys ever played Would You Rather before?
I have not, sir.
All right.
No,
Well,
me
Keith,
neither.
that means you got to go first.
Oh, perfect.
So,
I was just about to say me either, but you're first.
Got it.
I like it better that way. Yeah.
all right. So basically, the way this works is We'll start with Keith. We'll kind of just go clockwise. We usually talk about why you chose the answer you did, and then we tell you what the percentage is at the end.
Should I go with the gut, or should I overthink things here?
It's up to you, man. All right. So we're gonna go with our first one here, and it let's see. Would you rather be a donkey with a human's head, or be a human with a donkey's head?
A human with a donkey's head, or what?
A donkey with a human's head. Yeah.
Man,
I think I'd rather have the human head. I don't know why. I think people would at least take me more serious because I'd have a human brain technically, or would I have a human brain in a donkey's head? See, I'm thinking about the brain, right?
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go with a human head because the donkey thing maybe I could work around. I don't know.
I like how you said people would take you more seriously, but really,
I would probably be on a lot of shows.
basically you're half a jackass.
You're making me overthink this now. Now you're making me go the other way.
Can I get a drink that I can't hold?
Yeah. Where's my fucking straw?
Yeah.
I want my tequila in a bottle.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You better ask them the same thing. I don't know.
Listen,
I'm just going to say what Keith said.
No, thanks.
All right, man. So let's see. We got 53% of people say they would be a donkey with a human's head. Also,
Okay.
All right. So you're in the.
Not alone.
I see.
know.
He says a bigger brain, right?
Yeah.
He said,
The human brain.
yeah, the
You
human
kind of
brain.
cover up the rest of you
Yeah.
somehow.
So
maybe.
you're smart, but if you want to look at it in a sexual way, you also blessed.
Bestiality, in a bestiality way?
You're
Are
blessed
are
too,
donkeys,
right?
donkeys well endowed? Is that, I don't
All
know.
right. Yeah, man.
But if you were,
But
if
who's
you were
gonna
the donkey,
help you out?
But if
with
you were a
that?
donkey's head on a human body and you had a donkey's brain,
Yeah,
then you'd be too dumb to realize your plight.
yeah.
Which means,
Life is good.
yeah.
Actually, you wouldn't be thinking
But if
about
I'm a
things
human head on a
seriously.
donkey's body, I'm like, what the fuck? How do I get rid of this donkey's body like, for the rest of my life?
I would hope they could transplant my head on a human body. or
There you go.
something.
That's exactly it.
That would be your whole goal in life, to figure that out.
Cybernetics. Huh? Hello, help me.
All right. Hector, you're up next. So we got, let's see. Would you rather have a giant spider that behaved like a dog, or have a giant bee, wasps and flies in the world? I don't even know what that means. No, I got it. They worded it weird. All right, have a giant spider that behaved like a dog, or have giant bees, wasps, and flies in the world.
Oh, man.
I would rather have the spider that behaves like a dog.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Think of everything.
Aren't those
So you
chihuahuas?
could train them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a dog person anyway, so I'm
Sure.
like, I'm right at home. Shit.
Man's best friend.
Yeah, plus fuck bees, right?
Scared of bees,
What do we need
man.
bees for?
Sting you, man.
See, but
You
when he's
Republican?
scared of bees, he's chill about it though. Like if a bee comes there, he won't be like, "Oh, get the shit away." He'll just like get up and walk away. He's like, "Nah, I gotta go over there for a second." Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, man." So,
No,
all
where's
right.
Cooley going? Oh,
Nah, he's gotta go to the bathroom. All right, and 86% of people would agree with you.
Yeah.
Good.
All right,
makes sense.
there we go.
Yeah.
Now, would you rather sleep for 30 days or lose your memory?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know what my choice would have been on that
That's
already.
a long sleep. That's a long
Sleep for 30 days. Or lose my memory. I guess I would sleep for 30 days.
Lose
Right?
You lose a
Easy.
whole month.
Yeah, but you wake up well rested and you know
Yeah.
everything, right?
Really
But
well
if you
rested.
lose
Probably
your memory, you lose your
rickety.
whole life.
You might have to roll
Yeah,
out of bed,
yeah.
your muscles.
That
will
might be a
forget
good
how
thing
to
too, though,
function.
depending on
Yeah,
your past. You know?
True.
This is my third wife. I don't get it. Just can't seem to
memory
keep
of
this
you.
thing going.
No memory of
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
All right. Cooley. Would you rather have ice powers or fire powers?
I'm at fire powers, man, because fuck cold. I don't like cold.
It would be funner.
even though
you
I
would be
grew up-
funner at a party.
But you're
Yeah.
not like affected
Listen,
by it, right? Though.
There would be
Either way, I
some,
could be fun at a party.
but listen, there would be some.
Is your beer warm?
Yeah,
You know, but
I was gonna say
That's
there'd be some benefits of the
oh
cold
wait,
because
I take it back. I would rather have cold powers because then cold wouldn't bother me.
that's true.
I was just gonna say that because
that's
you were like,
thinking.
because you were like, fuck the cold, but it's not like Sub-Zero's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
anyone in summer is like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm cold, man. So, all right, let's see. So I'll go last, obviously. So I just hit the percentage on that one was Let's see if it's right this
It's a
time.
22%.
36 over, so 64% would rather have firepower. So
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So this is an app.
Yeah. Would you rather?
Would you rather? I
Yeah.
like that.
He's always gonna search for a messed up one for me. I know it. Always. Here we go.
But-
See, I already know it.
Would you rather have dicks for toes or dicks for fingers?
Oh, that's
Dicks
a
for
good
toes or dicks for fingers, man.
I know my answer
Would
to
your
that.
fingers
too.
That's
have
pretty
that?
simple one.
That's an easy one. You gotta-
I don't know.
able to
Dicks
use
for
your
fingers,
hands.
bro. That's what I'm gonna say.
Right.
Nah,
How you gonna walk?
I would have picked the toes.
Yeah, because
how
you
do you
just
walk,
throw
though?
shoes on.
You're gonna be
Still
shaking
shakes,
the
huh?
You have to get yourself excited just to go for a walk.
No, I'm just saying, man. Like, I don't know. I
You know,
feel
if you
like.
hate somebody, you go over their house with sandals.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. I don't know, man. I feel like you can make that interesting,
Are you a
right?
foot
So
guy or a
fingers?
hand guy?
Or like if you wear shoes, you could just be having a lot of fun without nobody knows
Why are your shoes wet all the time? What's going on?
why your shoes wet.
Why are you
Pay
wearing
attention.
clown
You never paid
shoes?
attention.
Clown shoes. That's it.
These shoes fit better today.
So you're saying it's dicks for fingers, and the majority of people would rather have dicks for toes because
All right.
that's just
I just think
77%.
It's like wearing.
if
See,
your
I
fingers-
like being in the minority. That means I think different, man.
if your
If
fingers,
you know
Out of the box.
anything about
Yeah,
being a
I think
minority,
outside
you
the
might
box.
rethink that.
yeah, minorities would be like, wait, if my fingers are dicks, I'm gonna have a dick in my mouth at least once a day.
You said at least once a day. So Hector, what do you think about?
Why do my fingers smell like
If you're eating a sandwich,
They smell bad.
Oh man,
oh god.
God.
Hey, so that's it. That's the
That's the
that's
podcast,
Would You
man.
Rather. Yep.
Yeah, and would you rather? Yeah, definitely. So
So where can we find your stuff, guys?
Well, right now it's
Down on your floor right now.
Dude, we got all our, that's not all our stuff. But, we're relaunching a store
It's a
and
clean
site.
floor, by the way.
it is.
But GWP Books is where you can go right now. .com. GWPbooks.com.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, GWP Books on Facebook, I guess. Just
Guildworks-
search it.
Guildworks Publications.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you can find us right now.
All right.
Nice.
Word.
But yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, we want to thank you guys for coming on, man. It was a pleasure having you guys. You guys are awesome. So,
Thank you.
Bless
Hell
you.
yeah,
Thank
definitely.
Yeah, we'd like to come back sometime. It's fun. It's cool.
Hell yeah. All right.
Just
Yeah,
jam out
yeah.
with all these guitars and stuff, man.
Oh yeah, you guys play out. I'm gonna be like,
He sings. He has vocal skills, this one over here.
oh
You
yeah.
can find us at redbeardpodcast.com.
Definitely, man. And we're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere you name it, man.
Yeah, man. Keyword Redbeard Podcast. All one word on Redbeard. Please don't put a space because that shit aggravates me when I tell somebody, yo, Redbeard Podcast, and they're like, red, space, beard. I can't find it. And it's like, because you're putting a fucking space where it doesn't belong.
How did you come up with that name, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh,
like
I
a
have a
pirate.
beard.
I have red
and he has
hair.
red hair.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it. Pretty
right.
much,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't
we-
get it.
Oh, it's a pirate thing.
And if I grow a beard, it's my podcast. So, all right. Well, that's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.